I'm sure by now most of us have heard that during Tuesday night's State of the Union address, several Democratic female representatives arrived dressed in all white. They were dressed in all white to show solidarity among women and to celebrate women's voting rights. But the women in white showed their true colors before the address even began. It all started with First Lady Melania Trump. As the female, and yes, I do find it important to point out her gender in this situation, as the First Lady entered the chamber, the women in white did not stand solid with one of their own. In fact, half of them couldn't even muster an applause. Then the white started to look more like a shade of gray, as the women, in particular Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, looked confused, or down and around, when she didn't like the comments made by the president. She also stared daggers at her colleagues who did have the manners to stand up and applaud. Then after gray comes straight up red. The majority of women in white refused to stand and applaud an ICE agent who saved more than 300 girls and women from coyote smugglers. They couldn't seem to figure out if they should stand or clap for sex and human traffickers being put behind bars. Nearly all of them were red with fury after the president's remarks regarding late-term abortions, and they remained stone-faced when the president spoke of low unemployment for minorities and the disabled. In fact, the only point during the address that they felt so compelled to enthusiastically cheer was when it was for themselves. As the president announced the growing number of women finding jobs, the women in white cheered, they hooted, and they hollered for themselves, filling many of the open jobs in Congress. Judging by their applause Tuesday night, or lack thereof, they don't really seem to care much about the First Lady. Certainly not about female employment, nor about the women that fall victim to sex trafficking. Women in white, please remind me, what color did you choose to wear, and why? Or did they, in fact, show their true colors? You tell me.